Pack of Lies is about, it's a true story about a couple, a family who lived in Ruislip in 1960.
Their best friends, Helen and Peter, are this Canadian couple who live across the street, and they spend Christmases, birthdays, all of that kind of time together.
They get approached by somebody from Scotland Yard who asks if they can put somebody in their house to keep an eye out for a certain man who keeps visiting people in the street.
It's a play that is set in the 60s, but feels very timely in its topics. Obviously we've seen quite a lot about spies and Russia, and even down to the fact that it's kind of a small suburban community that the action takes place in.
I had to read it twice, and the first time I thought, this is really good, it's really interesting, it's very, very wordy. Nothing really happens, it's all in this very, sedate house. And I'd done some of Hugh's plays before, so I know his writing a bit. And then when I read it the second time, I thought, this is such a clever, clever play.
It's got just a story about a family and relationships, but it's also got a thriller style aspect to it too, so it ticks a lot of boxes.
It's exciting like a thriller, isn't
it?
But it's got a lot of heart in the middle of it as well, I think, which is what audiences keep commenting on, which is really lovely, that it's kind of exciting and it feels dangerous, but it's very moving as well.
Yeah. And I had seen it when I was 10 years old, and I remembered it being amazing. So I think when you're 10, you just see your parents being brilliant in a play. I asked her one thing about a certain speech, and she said, darling, it was 30 years ago, I've done so many plays since then I can't even remember it. So then I stopped. I didn't ask her anything else. But she came to see the first preview, and she said that as soon as Chris started speaking at the beginning, she started crying, and it all sort of flooded back to her.
And I've done a couple of his plays, and I knew him, and he was lovely, and it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it, so soon after his death, and to have someone say, do you want to do this, you actually go, it's a kind of no-brainer. And it's really lovely because he's a really important writer, and his writing is brilliant, and it's kind of, his stuff's really interesting, and it's a good time, given the piece and given the subject matter of the piece, it's a really good time for it to be, looked at again.